Hey guys, okay, so this is going to be super unscripted, and I'm sitting here at my home, obviously, and the air is blowing, so that's why my hair is blowing, but it doesn't matter. So, a lot of people reached out and said, what do you do? And I wasn't prepared to do this, so it's just raw, but here we go. So my story is pretty, just an all-American girl. I grew up in a small town. My parents divorced, and I was raised by a single mom in a 700 square foot trailer, and I have an impeccable work ethic is the moral of that story. So in my early 20s, I was working a full-time job at a law firm as a criminal paralegal. I had gone to college. I had done a couple different things, and real estate. I had gone to real estate school, but needed a job to pay bills. And so I was working full-time at the law firm, and then I was working nights and weekends at a department store. And the reason I was doing that is because I was broke, and no one was paying my bills. Up to that point, no one had ever given me one penny, ever. So, and I wasn't married. So when no one's paying your bills and you're working full-time and part-time and there's still more month than money, you're in a mess. My car was getting ready to be repossessed. It was just a mess, bottom line. I was 3 months behind on my rent, So I knew I needed to do something. And so for me, I'm not afraid to work. My story is not one of hit the lottery. That's just not my deal, or get rich scheme. I've always worked 3 jobs at one time. So worked full-time, worked part-time, and then started a side hustle. So I started a side business to start generating more income. My car was repossessed. I drove a piece of crap car, and I learned how to live beyond my means. I learned how to pay off credit card debt. So for 1 year, I just took all the money I was making, lived very minimal, paid off debt. And then here's the deal. Once I was able to stabilize myself, I was able to start making money. So international e-commerce site. I developed an international e-commerce site where people went online and would order baby and children's apparel, interior design, so custom bedding. And so I would work full-time at the law firm, nights and weekends at the department store, had the side hustle business going, and then integrated the international e-commerce site. So, and I had, thank you God for my energy and my health, but I would work 16 hours, 18 hours a day. So that's important. That's why I talk about straight up hustle. And I do have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, I guess. Watching my mom struggle so hard as a single mom, I just knew that I was going to put myself in a different position. So the website, the international e-commerce site, and I would stay up, 2, 3, 4 in the morning doing that. And then get up and go back to work, got the side hustle going, And then from there, because once you make money, you can make additional money. I bought brick and mortar stores, and the brick and mortar stores was baby and children's boutique, like Layette, gifts, and then I would do interior design. And then I opened additional brick and mortar stores, and then I did a licensing deal where people would open stores, and then I would do consulting work where I would go in and do just simply consulting work on strategic analytical business development, what they need to put in place to be successful in their store. And then I sold actually the domain name to an international company, and that was very lucrative. The international company wanted my domain name, so I sold that there. Did a real estate deal, where I would do hard lens on real estate. So when people would find properties, and it was during when the economy crashed in the housing market. So people would find foreclosed properties, but they didn't have the capital to purchase it. I would be the hard lend on it, loan the money on it. That was very lucrative. Of course, the real estate agent would sell the property, and I would take a balloon commission on it at the end. That was a lucrative time. Another thing that I would do, I've never worried about being popular. That's really, I never got caught up in the popular crowd. I wanted to be productive. So mobile home parks. It's very, people need housing. People deserve a great place to live, right? Everybody can't afford a gated community or $1 million home, so they have to live somewhere. So a trailer park, you can, very good residual income, buying trailer parks, buying a piece of property and putting mobile homes on that for people to have decent housing, safe housing. Sometimes it's even government subsidized and then you're paid on that. I don't care if it's fancy or anything like that. It's lucrative and it's income. So that's very lucrative. And then, of course, later on, purchasing additional things, doing consultant work, that's been very lucrative. Biggest thing that I can tell you that was huge for me is I believed that I could do it. I knew I was going to do it. I had a strong work ethic, and I would take the monies that I would make and reinvest them to make additional income, like just trying to always be proactive and multiple streams of income. So if, the side hustle crashed, and then of course I left my full-time job. I only stayed at my full-time job for a year while I built the other things, but I was willing to do that. I was willing. Another thing I'll tell you that I do, stay away from the negative, crazy people. When you're trying to build something and you're going to do something, your mindset is so important. It doesn't matter. Nobody was paying my bills. There was no sugar daddy. There was no man giving me money. There was no parents giving me money. It was me. It was me. And I was going to, so other people's opinion was really irrelevant. I was focused. I was driven. I was very determined that I was going to, watching my mom struggle as a single mom. She worked hard, and I have so much respect for people who have normal jobs. My mom stocks groceries at a local grocery store, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of her because she's a hard worker. But watching her struggle financially after my parents divorced, I just knew, and my airs come on in my house, so like there'll be some haters or something say something stupid like I've got a fan blowing. It's the air coming out the vent. But watching my mom struggle, I just knew I was not going to live like that. And at 21, 22 years old, repoed car, couldn't pay my bills. I was like, I'm changing this. I'm changing this. And I was focused and I was determined. I put myself with people who were driven and ambitious. I put myself with people who were going places. I put myself around people who were positive. Bitter people, people that were negative. I love them, but I separated myself from that, because when you're building something and you're going somewhere, the energy, energy in one place is energy away from another place. And I had to make, here was the deal. The light at the end of the tunnel was going to come when I lit it up. It wasn't going to be the perfect man. It wasn't going to be the right job. My parents, I didn't come from money, so it was what it was. Whatever. It was up to me to make something different, to change my current situation. And I was just focused on that. So the last thing I will say that I really did is I've always continued to look forward. Like, what can I develop next? What can I do? Where is there a need? And then my heart's good. My attitude's kind of a savage attitude. Like I said earlier, I've got a little bit of chip on my shoulder just because I know we can make it. I know you can do it. I watched my mom work hard. I watched her. So I know, and my dad has a great work ethic too. I have to hand him that. He's an awesome worker. He has a great work ethic. So I think it's about, making decisions. And, I'm unapologetically ambitious. I'm unapologetically ambitious. And low key, I'm obsessed with watching people win. I don't care what you're doing. I love to watch you win. A single mom, getting your master's, getting your PhD, a stay-at-home mom, athletes. Oh, I love the athletes, the drive, the ambition, the champion mindset. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I want to see us win. I want the whole gang wearing Gucci. And, I think when you have that attitude and you really want good for people and you want good for yourself and you want the people around you to be happy and positive, it just makes a difference. So, in short, that's what I did. I've been working, and I'm not afraid of the word work. I'm all about, obviously, right? Jets and planes and Louis Vuittons and red bottom shoes. Thank you, Lord God Jesus. Growing up in a 700 square foot trailer, I am thankful for stuff. It's awesome. But it's really not about the stuff. And I remember back in the day, because listen, I know there'll be people watch this. I remember like when my car was repoed, I couldn't, no money for, just broke, like negative $300 in my checking account, Roman noodles, like, the deal. I remember people would say something like, it's not about the money. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it's really not. I'm not afraid to work. The moral of that, guys, you can make stuff happen. People who's going to school, whatever it is you're doing, put yourself with the right people. Believe that you can do it. It's not overnight. I've been doing this a long time. I've been working since I was 15 years old. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's not a get-rich scheme. It's just building it and then continue to build it and always be grateful, a grateful heart. So in short, that's what I do.